Rolling with the homies. Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, TGIF. Thank goodness it's Friday. Ready to finish off this week. Been truly entertaining. There we are. Let's see what else we got brewing here. Let's see now. Well, you see here the Swiss franc is moving down, which means the dollar is moving down. And we see it on the Chicago Quant, and we see it on the J4X. In this case here, you can see it's rolling over just like it's rolling over here. And it's been in a buy, just like it has been here. Let's widen that a little bit, like so. And overall, the markets, the dollar, as we kind of always, except for with the British pound, as far as I'm concerned, the dollar is pretty much in a side chop, not going anywhere particular in a channel. You play the ranges, that type of thing. Whereas on the cable has, I think it pierced. Let's take a look at the cable. I think it actually pierced the 40 yesterday. Let's take a look and see. The high is 41.4 ZZ85. That's the high. And it's trading offered at 40, and it's 40 bid. It's at I guess one pip, that type of thing. And so we've gotten into the middle of that range that we figured would be the new established range for a short period of time, or some period of time. We have no real clue there. We don't try to predict those things. We just follow the math, and the math tells us what they're doing, and that's the way we roll around here. And so that's what we're seeing. And then when we widen this out, like so, whoop, wrong button again, like so, you can see that it's playing up into here. It's been in a daily buy since here, and it's been in a weekly buy since the cows came home way back about, what is it, on the fact check spreadsheet, line 13, 18 weeks. So the pressure has been on the upside there. Let's see. Whereas we saw some positive action with the cable yesterday, but it's still in a weekly sell and a daily sell. I think it's flirting with the weekly buy. Let's go check that out. And Wheeze, if you're around, I listened to you this morning. A little box popped up and said you were on, so I listened. So it was a nice little quick 15-minute about how to go through the website. I thought that was interesting on the tools that you guys are using. Let's see. Where is it at? Let's go to Euro, right there. Yeah, the Euro is easily flirting and through the weekly buy number, and you can see now we are piercing a daily as we speak today. So there's some strength coming in here. This has been in a good side channel since December. We're at the bottom end of that range, I would assume, and this was the previous channel. Let's scroll over to that. See, it was a long, I did lose my sound. How about that? Okay. Got a green box there, so it's just on this particular thing it's doing it. Let me just give this a Oh, there we go. Middle Age says, hey, Doc, could you look at the J.O. coffee for me? I'm still looking on coffee and calls. Sure. Let's see. Where do we keep that? I know I have it parked somewhere. Where did I park that? Oh, is it in the stocks? Let's see. File open. Where did I park those things? Over in the stocks, didn't I? Stock combo. That's it. There it is. There's JO. And last time we looked at it, see, that was the sell, and it went down. We're in a weekly sell still. We can lift this up a little bit for you, like so. How's that? You can see we've been in a weekly sell since here. Right there. And now, obviously, we are clean. Oh, not the background cancel. This instead. And there's the sell. Make that solid. And so, but the weekly's not jumping up, which is interesting. It's just that the daily did. So let's do this. We'll put the lines in here. Couldn't go into a buy there. Couldn't go into a buy there. So it's been in a sell basically from this point all the way down to right there. That's where it is, right there. And that's yesterday. We have to wait another 26 minutes to see what today is bringing you. But we did go into the buy 2 days ago on Wednesday from the sell all the way back in here, which in the end result is it's it made it all the way across. You know, that's kind of funny. You know, and it's kind of going into the buy where it went into the sell, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 days ago. So that's kind of funny to watch it do that. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry about that. There we go. Let's take a look. There we are. So there is that. And that's the coffee, which is interesting. You know, it's trying to climb up, but the weekly is not joining in. So we'll see what that does. I mean, it would be. It would. You see how this one is right here? If it had been like that right there, I would say, well, next week maybe it's going to try to turn up. But here, this one's even sinking more. So we'll see how long this lasts. If it lasts today, or so forth. But at this point in time, and you can see when it went into the weekly buy over in here. I mean, it did have some nice upwardly wins, but overall, I guess that is a pretty good number, isn't it? So we're looking at 34 to 38. How do I relate to that? Is that like $3.40 a pound versus $3.80 a pound? Do you have any idea what that ETF does? That would make sense, wouldn't it? That'd be around the poundage, I would think. I mean, I see coffee sometimes at $8 a pound, and I see some coffees at like $3 and $4 a pound. Okay, well, there we go. Glad to help out. Let's move this around a little bit more, like so, and bring this over a little bit more, like so. Let's do this. Still need to shrink it down a little bit more. There you go. That's a little bit better. Yeah, I guess that's okay. Now we can pull that down a little bit, like so. There we are. All right. Now, let's see. We were looking at the euro, and the euro looks like it's going to climb into the weekly buy and a daily buy, so that's kind of positive. I don't know, Doc. I'm trading the KC coffee. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a. Let's see. What machine could I get KC on around here? I have one machine I use, and it's this one that I'm doing the webinar on, so I won't try to hunt down for it at the moment. Let's see. But that does look like. Does it match up to the futures contract? Does the ETF? I imagine they keep it as an arbitrage. I can't imagine when the ETF is live, it's not matching to the futures contract. And then obviously, it's not trading through the night. And then what happens is that coffee does trade through the night, and then it has a different price range, that type of thing. All right, where'd we leave off? Oh, so we done the cable, we done the euro, and now we'll do the CAD, unless someone wants to see something. But it's always interesting to talk about coffee. All right, now there's the CAD. You can see it had been in a daily buy from here for a couple of days, but now it's sinking down, and you can see we are in that weekly sell. So I guess the pressure is on the downside, which kind of connotes the idea that the energy contracts are going to be heading kind of north, especially if NASCAD. I think NASCAD closed in a daily buy last night, didn't it? Yeah, NASCAD did. It closed in a daily buy. Let's take a look at the NASCAD right there. Yep. So it closed in a daily buy yesterday, and you can see it's popping up. And that's one of those that's been in a weekly buy for a long time. Let's see, what's that? Line 23. So 16 weeks in a weekly buy. A lot of pressure on the NASCAD on the upside. Take a look at oil too at the same time. We moved over to the where we move to the April contract in oil. So let's take a look at that. There's copper. Copper's still climbing. And then let's see. Yeah, it closed in a daily sell last night, pressuring down, but we're in a weekly buy, so it's more of a profit-taking thing. Let's just give it a refresh. That's the way we usually roll when we look at NASCAT and we look at what's the other one? Uh, Canadian. We usually look at that and we go, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So natural gas was interesting. It was showing, no, not that. Where is it at? Natural gas was showing a daily buy attempt. Okay, now they got a red dot going on. So we'll move that over. Now I really like this whole action right here. Let's put a box around that. This whole action from here has been, you know, crazy, crazy in the sense of it has not been bullish whatsoever. You can see that. I mean, it goes up and it fails, goes up and fails, but and then you get another pop. That's from the Texas Ice Age, and you can see the weekly is now flirting pretty aggressively with the weekly sell number. I mean, if this sells down today, it's going to be maybe that's the topping. I don't think money wanted to come in on the short term. I think they were just forced to it. I think that's what we really saw here. That's what that whole action was. And we could not get into a daily buy for this for nothing. So money each day from here just kept on selling it off, went sideways up because of the freeze that they knew was coming. And I was getting all kinds of warning signs, you know, messages about how much, you know, it was going to happen. And electric prices were going to explode next week. I was getting that all week long. And sure enough, obviously it happened. And now, you know, we might find the natural gas back down to the 280 and this thing's sliding into a weekly sell. That would not surprise me any. But it doesn't seem like there's a lot of short-term hunger to put it into the daily buy. It's like, don't trust me, don't trust me. We're expensive, but don't trust me. And at the same time, we have a weekly buy signal saying, yeah, don't be short, don't be short, don't be short. You know, I mean, that's the way this is all reading. This is how our math works. You know, this is screaming, don't be short. This is screaming on the short term, be long but be out. You know, because you can't carry it overnight. And you can see a lot of these pops were sold off. You know, a lot of them were pops and sold off, pops and sold off. This was the Ice Age in Texas, and now you can see, and look at all the red dots constantly over and over again, and histogram minus, and even when it went plus, we had a volatility where you had the green and the red. It just refused to let us get into the daily buy. So, you know, that's why we always say here, you know, there's long, there's three positions you can be in: long, short, or neutral. Hmm. Yeah, so that's why we're always saying that, and I know a lot of people kind of steer clear of trying to say, you know, they'd rather have you do one or the other, get long or short. They don't want you to say, oh no, stand to the side. And that is the answer to that. Let's see what else do we got brewing here. All right, so that's the. Let's do that. Let's save that too. And that, without a doubt, it won't surprise me, and probably it won't surprise the traders if they find ways to get weak. You know, it tries to find a weak way of getting, you know, getting out of there in the end result. All right, now let's take a look at. Let's see where we were with. Oh, we didn't take a look at Turkish Lira. Let's check that out. Turkish Lira is trying to go into a little buy here, but we don't see the weekly doing anything, you know, miraculously strong here. So, you know, this is just the dead cat bounce, you know, where somebody's taking some profits more than anything else. And that would be the way we would interpret the Turkish Lira action that we're seeing here. Let's see. What other currencies over here? Let's see what Mr. and Mrs. Ruble's doing, because we did see it go into the buy there yesterday. It's a little firmer today. And you can see the weekly is, let's see, what did it do? Is that the sell? I guess it went into the weekly sell there. So we should put that in there. Because it looks like it's flirting with the weekly buy now. Let's widen this a little bit more. Yeah. So what do we have here? We have, this is a super, right? So you can see plot 6 is minus Z71. And plot 1 is minus 0.01. So it's just on the edge. Just holding on in there. We'll have to see how that goes tonight. Hey, Daniel, what's cooking? TGIF. Thank goodness it's Friday. Would you like to see Canadian? We just did Canadian. We can do Canadian again. It's acting interesting. We're getting a little weakness in here. We're definitely closing in a weekly sell. The Chinese index, Hang Seng China A50, went up quite a lot compared with the rest, especially Hang Seng, now approximately 30,670. Well, their currencies are fixed, and again, we don't trust anything that really comes out of there, numbers wise. So I don't have much an opinion more than that. That's what the problem is. I think, didn't I go on that litany yesterday about that? Were you here yesterday or the day before, where I was saying that I don't understand if it's the second largest economy in the world, why their currency only trades 2% of the world forex market. And so until I see, 20, the U.S. dollar trades like what, 50% of the U.S., 50% if not more of the world currency market is the U.S., and then something like 25% of it is the euro, and then like something like 12% is like the Japanese, and like 8% is like the British pound or something like that. And even the Swiss has like 3 or 4% or 2 or 3%. So let's see, Bitcoin 52, Ethereum. Yeah, now Ethereum's moved up nicely, hasn't it? They're trading about 400 contracts a day on average. That's what they did last week. We'll see what they did this week. Why do they call it the Ethereum dollar? Whereas Bitcoin is like an asset, Ethereum is more like a replacement for the dollar. Is that what that is? AUD so strong. Let's see. I thought they were. Where is AUD? I thought that was in a daily sell for a couple days. So it's 16 weeks in a buy and 2 days in a sell. Let's jump back over to that. Right there. Okay, yeah, look at that. So they're lifting it up today. So it was in a sell for a couple days here. And we just went down 2 weeks ago to a low here. And then we went into that buy here for this rampage. Right there. And then we went to sell here, and now we're jumping right back into the buy again. But we've been in a weekly buy now on line, what's that, 12 for 16 weeks. Let's see. Let's put that up on J4X. I'm going to take a look at that in a longer term view. Let's see. Where are you? AUD. AUD dollar. There we go. And let's go like so. No. Let's put a weekly in there. That's me adjusting my mic there. This is loading. I think I'm gonna have take a sip of my tea. Up there. Which one's that? Yeah. So it's loading up. Okay, there we go. And a sip of my tea. All right. So, yeah, this thing's been coming from the 60s since. Now let's go back to Chicago Quan. I want to see when we went into the weekly buy. I guess right there. So where was the product trading? The product was trading in the 60, like basically the 70 area. Okay. So we went from the 70 area to where are we at today? 78. That's a pretty good move since we jumped into the weekly buy. Was thinking about buying AUD CAD in the morning, though FX market had more than enough, and it's Friday. Let's see if we have a chart on that. What's that AUD CAD? There's AUD dollar. There's Euro AUD. There's NAS AUD. There it is. AUD CAD. There we go. Same thing here. It's been in a weekly buy for a while. Yeah, that's the last time we put a buy signal on, and that was back in November, early November, that first week of November. And it climbed from the 95 and a half area to where's it at now? 98 and a half, basically. 99, okay. 99. It's been in a daily buy. It looks like, let's widen this. Did it go into the sell like the dollar one? Let's see. Yeah, so it went into a sell here. So it went into the buy here. Went into the buy there. Went into the sell here. And what's interesting is yesterday it went into the buy again, whereas the dollar CAD went in there today. Let's move that over. Like that. There we are. So there's a sell. So we're coming in a daily buy. So this will be the second day with that. Let's see. It depends on what you're thinking and how you're doing it. If you're doing it with binaries or options, obviously you have a lot more opportunity and less risk of cash and of the size of your portfolio. But I would imagine that you should think of your portfolio always as like about 25 or 30 positions. So divide it by say 25 or 20. The least aggressive, I guess you could say, is 20. So in other words, imagine you had 19 other positions on. Divide the value of your account and just use that amount. Let's see, wouldn't be surprised if AUD CAD to parity. AUD CAD to parity. Oh, I see, par. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's not. It's at 99 today, so and we've been in a weekly buy, and you can see it's taking off again, and it's breaking through the time manifold, and it's contracting too. So a lot of times you get explosive action when you get the time. Let's widen this a little bit for you, and let's widen that out. You can see how the time manifolds, the nonlinear time manifolds, the yellow lines are tightening up. That can be the sign of an aggressive move coming. Like, see how it tightened up here for a couple of weeks, and then finally dug out of itself. You know, first let's go back and look. So here it is there. It tightened up here, and it had a break on the downside. You know, an aggressive move of 3 or 4 handles. And so then you can see it's doing that same tightening even more now. So this has a good possibility that it could be a break on the upside. That sounds like a perfect option position. You should look into some type of binary or something for it. Put it on, and not have to look back and not worry. Silver spiked down almost $1 last night, all of a sudden, like 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Hey George, how you doing? Let's take a look and see. Silver, did it make it into? I think silver survived the daily buy yesterday by the hair of its chinny chin too. There is silver. Yeah, it held up in there just by the hair of its chinny chin and got a volatility signal. It's refreshed that. They sold it down hard. I see that. And now it's pretty much unchanged, isn't it? Yesterday's settlement, 2707. Today's close is 2712, so it's up a few cents. Is that right? Yeah, so 2707. Yeah. So it's up just a little bit, but they did spike it down. But we're in a buy here. But we're not in a weekly buy, so it's not really giving you the love to be long, you know? No winner chicken dinner there. And then, let's see. So what's the other one saying? George says, crude oil sold off last night as well. Yeah, we looked at that. We went into the sell on crude. Let's go back to that. There's crude. We went to the sell there last night, and we're still a little bit more weak, but we're not in a weekly sell, so again, it's short-lived, if anything else. It's not. They're not things. What did gold do? Let's do this. Let's go to gold. There's gold. Gold is trying to lift up, but still not able to get into the buy. And our weekly looks so saggingly low. It doesn't look like it's going to do anything whatsoever for at least another week, if not two. It's just dragging on the downside here, and it just keeps on sliding down. See, Daniel says, George, yes, silver dipped and then went back up, rejected the yearly VWAP and monthly pivot. Huh. Is that what was going on there? Yeah, they want to sell that thing down, that's for sure. They don't seem to want to let go of it. I just don't see the love for the metals, and at this point in time, it's definitely trying to show some really good life in it at this point too. I mean, they really don't want to take these things up. The cryptos have become. I saw yesterday someone was talking about the cryptos. 1800 to get back into the game. Yeah, I mean they're saying that the cryptos are becoming the new gold. A lot of the gold traders are moving into the cryptos. They're seeing that there's much more love for the cryptos, and I guess you could say how do they describe it? I guess you could say that without a doubt the cryptos are giving that instant gratification, and the concern about the amount of debt and the borrowing and all that other stuff that's going on. So the cryptos are literally, that's why it's good that they're creating a couple of futures contracts for it. That Ethereum has got, like I said, had an average of something like 397 contracts last week. I can't wait to see what the Merck says, or the Chicago Merck Group says that happened this week, because they are definitely not the metal people need to have somewhere to go, because they are surely not getting the satisfaction out of the metals industry. And as much as you've seen what happened to Texas, it's awful hard not to be concerned about that, Definitely. Let's see, what do we got here? Yeah, it says Daniel. George says, Doc, I see why you stress controlling your losses and money management. Yeah, that's the key. It always is. Daniel says, if it continues down, gold could go to the 1680, 1700, and below that if it can't find support. You know what I saw also? The Yellen spread. Check this out. Let's put gold on the J4X. Where's that at? Right there. There's gold. Make that a daily. And then check out the platinum. Right there. The spread dropped under $5 last night. Let's reload that. Little flirtation with a red dot today. We have platinum trading at 1279. And we have gold trading at 1774. So we're looking at $495 now. The spread has moved to, since we've been pushing the conversation and the technical analysis of the Yellen spread, as I call it, it's dropped from $1,000 down to $495 now. You like that? The Yellen spread. That's what I call it. The Yellen spread. Buy platinum, sell gold. Yeah, she does that. She, really pushes down on the metals. Remember when she was Fed chair? Gold and platinum were parity just about. I think at one point they were premium. The moment she left that position, there's no doubt. I think it had a couple $100 wide market or $50 wide market or something like that. But then once she left, the thing went to $1,000 on the spread in reverse. So that has caught my eye. And now that I'm thinking harder in the sense of what happens when this Fed chair retires, well, blinder will probably come in. So, oh my God, it'll be like kids got the candy store. Man, they're gonna just pig out. Since November, platinum gold pair went up 50%. Yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah, Robin and I have been writing about it, pushing it out there in Future Source and bar charts and so forth. We've been writing about it. That is some action, huh? So there's been some really, really good action in that sector. Indeed. Let's see. Where do we go from here? We've had a nice flurry into that arena. Let's take a look at the 10 and the 30-year bond. There's the 30-year. It's still heading down. Last we looked, and that was yesterday, of course. Yep. Okay. Now look at that. They're trying to perk it up. Didn't get in. Oh, okay. Wait, what is that? That's not a buy. Remove. And so it's trying to get into a buy, but it's not succeeding, and we're in a weekly here or so of a sell. So let's save that. And that's the 30-year. And let's check out the 10. I know that they say the bond vigilantes are back. The bond vigilantes. Let's see, where is it at? The 10-year is right there. It is. Still working its way down. Let's just refresh to make sure that's true. Yep, still working its way down. So remember, traders, when this goes down, interest rates are rising. That's what's happening, is we're seeing interest rates go up, and we're at, what, maybe 3-month lows at this point? Let's just contract that. Oh, you can't see. There we are. Yeah, so when's the last time this thing was down that low? And that's a 135 area. Probably not since like last summer of 2020. Yeah, that's 38. Let's see, we can get that on J4X. Let's see what's going on here. Let's put that on J4X. There it is right there. Let's just move this over. This is the 10-year. And is that the 10-year? No, this is the 30-year. This is the 30-year bond. And let's make that a weekly and see when the last time it was down that area. Yeah, so last summer, 2019. So we're heading towards that. I mean, at one point this thing was 3%. Now it's like 2.25% or something like that. This thing could fall back to the threes. Let's see. Daniel says Bitcoin got 100% since November. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was at when you know what I thought was interesting. I remember talking about it in the webinar here. Guggenheim, the fund, who were really sloppy equity traders, but I forget his name. But the head of the fund bought $600 million worth of Bitcoin in the $18,000 range. And at the time, I thought, a blind squirrel's got to be right once in a while. It's got to find a nut. And sure enough, it's gone from 17,000 to what, 52 now. So let's take a look at that. But I mean, it really caught my eye when he did that, and I did a webinar talking about it even, because I was impressed, because he seems to always be wrong on the stock side of things. Every time he says something about the stock market, it's usually the opposite. It occurs, and so you can see here, what's that? 52,935, with a high now of what, 53,300. So yeah, he's tripled his money in that, right? See, so 17, 34, 34, and 17 is yeah, he's tripled his money, which is good because they are pretty much their stock portfolio has been under invested. USD NOQ to sell. Let's see what that looks like. USD NOQ. I don't think we have it on here, but we'll find it. Let's try turning that one into it. NOQ. Right there. There we go. See how that looks. Let's give it a spin and refresh. And let's widen it a little bit, like so. You can see it's been in a weekly sell from this whole slide here. Where did we go? We're still in a weekly sell. Did that put it into a buy? Nope. That didn't put it in a buy. The white line, no, it's just by the hair. Let's widen that a little bit more for you so you can see. Just missed it. Look at that. So it's been in a weekly sell since here. Since the 938 area. It's been in a weekly sell. Then we can fix some of these dailies. We can just grab them. So let's see, where's that buy can be removed, like over there. And that sell went in, that's right, so it went there. And then you couldn't go into a buy there because it was a red and a green right there. And then, or was it that one? I can't tell. Let's put a line in there to try to figure that one out. Yeah, so it did go into a buy there. And then the next day, let's just grab some old ones. And then the next day, we'll see, like right here, it went into a sell too. That was the sell right there. And then every so often it gives you like a dead cat bounce buy. And then the next day finds a way to go back into the sell again, like right there. And then it goes into a buy there, and it goes right back into the sell. 2 days later, it goes into the sell right there. And it drags for a while too. You can see that up until here. I move that buy over to there. Seems funny how you get a volatility signal the day beforehand, and then it goes into the sell right. No, not there. Still in a buy. Goes into the sell right there. So let's grab this one, make that a sell. But it was still in a weekly, so you don't want to get long it. The only thing it's telling you is that, nah, not even that. The white line didn't even barely did anything with the time manifold. Then it's in the sell, then it goes back into the buy there. And then it goes into the sell here. Sell and then buy, then sell again. So sell, buy, and then sell. So let's fix that. Red and red. This is a nice trading product. This is Daniel. That's a good trading product, Daniel. And then let's just widen this a little bit more for you. And then it goes into the buy there, and then the next day it goes back into the sell. You can't take the buys because we're in weekly sells. You can see some strength coming into it, but still can't do it. And then, now that's interesting. That puts you in the buy there. And today we're going back into the sell again. So you got the buy there. Getting a little choppy here, isn't it? Look at this, how it's starting to tighten up from these nice long ranges. And then we're going into the sell as we speak, really. Actually, that should be up top. We should put it up here. So let's remove that and put it where it belongs because it's not confirmed yet. It's just in it at the moment. And so there we are, yeah. To the fact it's in the weekly sell, it looks safer. Oh yeah, here we go. Now, sorry about that. And there we go. So now we got it all fixed. So you can see here, you know, we've been in a weekly sell since there, like that. Let's scrunch it up. There we are. So it goes into the weekly sell here, goes into the daily sell there. There we are. Then it goes into the buy. No, that's not a buy. The buy's, oh, the buy is right there. That's the buy. So it goes into the sell here, and win chicken dinner, and then it tells you to cover, and it goes up, but you can't be long because, you know, it's still in the histogram is minus. You know, no, that's not the sell either. Where's the sell at? That's not it. There's the sell right there. That's the sell. There we go. That makes sense now. And so when you get both of these minus, then they have to both be plus to get back into it. That's why we use a 3-5 super. So it goes into the sell here. And let's move this over a little bit more like that. And so it's been in the sell since November. It's only flirted a couple times with an attempt to go after buys. And you can see it's done all that. There we go. So there's the action there, which is kind of neat, you know. What is that NOK? What currency is that? Let's just take a look at it on J4X. They'll say what it is. I think it's the Nordic, but we'll see. Yeah, Norway. The kroner. Okay, that's what I thought it was. I thought it was the kroner. So, yeah, it's become... This is a really nice trading product, you know? Surprised more people don't ask about it. I look at it once in a while. It's part of the 6 currencies that make up the dollar index. The dollar index is made up of, what is it, like 25% of the index is something like, or 35% of the index is like the euro. And then like, I don't know, 17% is like the Japanese yen. And then it's like 12%, I think, is the British pound. And then I said 12, and it's like 7 or 8% is the Canadian, and then the Swiss and the kroner are equal in weighting in it. And they must be like 5 or 6%. I guess 100%. So it must be more. So the euro must be like 60% or 55% or something like that. I think it's almost 50% of the index, the euro. And so then it must go from there to 22 and 12 and then 8 and then like 6 or 6 or 4 and 4. I think that's how that works out to make 100% of the dollar index itself. It just has 6 currencies in it, the dollar index, the DXY and the UUP. They only use 6 currencies to make that index up. So that's pretty cool. You know, we don't, like I said, we don't look at it that much. It's always interesting to look at when we do. And you can see, you know, we haven't used the lines in that. And I think we, I'm not sure exactly, but I know that I think we used to have it on there somewhere along the line. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But it's just I'm glad that you know glad we've come up with that. That's for sure. It's kind of like I said. It's a very good, clean, steady product. That you can trade. I guess you can say. With a good rhythm to it. Because it does. I mean, look at it. When you're looking at it through our work, you can see once we get into the cell here, it's a nice ride down. You do get your buy right there. Let's put that in there, right there, for a day, but you can't take it because we're in the weekly sell. Even when it tries to flirt with it, the histogram is minus. Then we go back into the sell again here, and it's a nice big win, chicken dinner, winner. And then you do your little flip day and a half. It gets into that rhythm with the volatility point, and then breaks down again. Nice win, nice win, nice win. Little win. It's starting to slow down. This one really goes upside down. This is your first loss after like 7 wins, and then the next one makes you back again. And you get your money back right there to take care of that. And then you can see here it's not too good. There's your another loss there. What's that, like 2 out of 10 basically? And then now we're getting into there. See what they do with that. So very good. Glad you picked that product out. It's definitely well worth for some people to look at because it is a good trending pairs trade. All right. What else we got brewing around here? Let's see. Where else did we finish off all the currencies? We looked at ruble. I wanted to see what ruble was doing today. So we saw that in the Turkish Lira. Oh, let's look at the yen. Because I understand that I read an article. They're still confused what to do with the ETFs. They're trying to normalize, and at the same time, they have growing problems. More people are dying than living over there. And so Japan has that issue going on, and you can see we're flirting with the sell here, but we're in a weekly buy since back here. So not too good. There was your daily buy there. It was a nice win, of course, but they're talking about adjusting how they do the ETFs. They control something crazy like 45, 55. No, it's more than 50%. I think they control over 50% of the ETF market. In some situations, they control 75, 80% of the ETF market. Oh, let's look at the peso. We have that on there. Not many people ask about these other pairs trades as much as we used to. Right there. There's the peso. We just looked at this too a while back, didn't we? The weekly sell there. Here we go. We went into a weekly buy there. Let's just give this a refresh, but looks like it went to the weekly buy there and rolled back over into the weekly sell just like after 1 week. So right there. And then we'll do this one too. Back into a sell there. And then back into the buy here. And what is that? So that's still in the buy. All right, so now let's fix these. And so was it like that? No, it's buy, right? Yeah, so it's buy. There we go. Then it went into the weekly sell the following week. Then it jumped back in 2 weeks later, back into the daily buy. There we are, right that. And then we can widen this a little bit. And we can put some lines in here. So, should we go backwards or forward? When we start from here, we'll just put lines in. So there's a sell right there. And you can see when it starts to run out, the sell stuff. You get only a couple days of it. So it's in a sell there, and that was all right. It made money, and we're in a weekly sell, so that's all right. That's cool. And then you get into a buy here off of that. No, you can't. from the buy. That's where the buy is, right there. But you're in a weekly sell, so you can't take it, of course. And then you go back into the sell there, which was okay. It was profitable. Not great, but profitable again. And then it goes into the buy right here. Where's that? Right there? No, right there. Gets into the buy there, and we're also through the weekly now, that week. So it's clear warning. Obviously, shorts are not in the game, and it gets into the weekly buy here, and it gives you a little bit more of it here. And that's cool. That's a winner chicken dinner. And then we go into a sell, not there, but here. Nope, not there. Right there. Go into the sell, but we're in a buy, right? Yeah, we're in a buy, so you can't take the short. Goes down, but you can take that long. Right there. And so that's pretty been interesting lately. The peso. That's very good. And so let's see. Daniel say buy the peso. Buy the peso. Yeah, look at that. We got what? 1, 2, 3 full weeks. This is gonna be a 4th week in a weekly buy. Yeah. So you can see that pressure is pushing and pushing more on the upside. Boy, that daily sell here tried to really push it into the weekly sell. You can see that. You know, it didn't really go too far, but it put the pressure on there to the point where it actually forced the. You can see even plot 6 held up. It was plus 0.01 Z.Z1 plus, and then look at the plot 1 was Z.ZZZ. It was plus somewhere out there in infinity. I remember my math has been designed. I designed this stuff to deal with the Higgs boson back in the 70s, so that's why it can go way out there, because we're measuring atomic charges like electrons and protons and so forth. All right, let's see now. Where are we at here? I guess that's about it with the peso, huh? That's interesting. Very interesting. It's been a peso. What do you call it? Peso and kroner day. It's kind of neat, you know. We don't usually get a chance to double look at a few of these currencies in here, and it's kind of neat to do so, because we find the some of these currencies are very, what's the word I'm looking for? They have continuity. You know, they trend. That's it. The word is trend. They trend very well. They get rolling, and they don't stop. You know, that's very impressive. And you know, it's an important thing that you want to trade products that trend. I mean, look at this distance here. You know, it gets into a sell. At least it does it for a couple of weeks. You know, it might give you a little push here for the dead cat bounce, but then it does it again. It does it again. You want that, especially when you're in a weekly sell. And then you start to slow down on that, and you see like the momentum of everything is changing and it's shifting, and it's trying to get into a buy. And you can see how hard it is to make money on the downside, even with it 5-6 days into it. And then you get into a weekly buy, and then it does a hiccup type of thing, weekly sell, and then 2 weeks more, and then boom into the buy. You know, it's your classic R.N. Elliott characteristic, you know, where you get the A, B, C, you know, in, out, and then, or out, in, out, you know, that's the ABC, you know. And then you got the 5-way where it's in, out, big, long, in again, out, and then in again, you know. So it's nice, you know. Our math really helps confirm if you want a trend, you can buy stocks. Yeah, as long as the do you know how much new cash they're creating every month? The two central banks, the European, the ECB, The European Central Bank and the U.S. Federal Reserve create together over $250 billion in new cash every month. So yeah, you're right about that. You want to talk about trend? Yeah. I mean, I'm still amazed at Whirlpool. Oh, is that Triple M, the Minnesota mining company? I am totally amazed that that Whirlpool is like trading beyond $50 a share. You know, I think Whirlpool's trading like a $200 a share or something like that now. Let's take a look at it. Let's see if we can find MMM. Let's see. Let's find it. Let's see. All right, let's load it up and see what we got here. MMM. So copy. Oh, let's just refresh this. This is the. Oh, there's the. No, let's try this. That's that coffee thing. Nope, still hasn't updated yet. So let's copy this and put Triple M in there. And let's do this. Let's remove that like so. Remove. And then put that symbol in there. There it is. Minnesota Mining and Minerals. 3M. Good old Dow stock. Dow Jones Industrial Average. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. Let's scrunch it up. Let's give it a spin. Let's see. We can. I guess we can leave that in there. That's a buy. And the following week goes back into a sell. Is that a sell there? I guess that's a sell there. Yeah, it's a sell. And then it goes back into the buy right there. And it stays in the buy throughout this little run up. And we go into a sell there. And that's funny, it's in the sell spot. Then we can go and take that, put that there like that. That's the buy again. Then it goes and grabs a sell again right there. And look at that. Let's widen that because it's going the wrong way at the same time. And so it's in a sell there, goes into the buy there, right there, and it goes up. Doesn't go back into the buy until like right there, but it's in a sell. No, wait a minute. Yeah, let's do this and let's move this red one over. So let's see. I don't know. This is not trending as nice as those two currencies you showed us. That's for sure. Let's see. There's the sell again. And then there is the buy right there. I don't know. This doesn't seem so excitingly. This is more like a loser-loser. There's your sell there. The math will clean it up in the end. It always does. You just have to be persistent with it. And look at it. Finally gets into the buy here. There we go. Gets into the buy there, and it's not exactly the world's most exciting buy. The buy then goes into the sell here. And goes back into the buy there, which again now, once it closes in the, I guess it's, is that it? No, next one. Like that. That's a sell. This is not impressive at all. And then you get your, move this sell over to here, but you're in a buy, and then you go, I guess this one puts you into the weekly sell again. This is where you start to get your winner, winner, chicken dinner. Oh, not that. Cancel. Okay, so that's your sell there. And let's see, it's in a sell here and doesn't go back into a buy until makes all any monies you've lost in this mess. You've made it all back right here. That's for sure. And let's move that over too. And there's your first buy right there. But it's still in a sell. And now let's get rid of that. I don't know. This is not exactly the most smooth trading product, that's for sure. And there's your weekly buy. And let's go with, let's see, one of these. So let's see, where's that? That's the sell right there, yes. And then the buy is right there, yes. Lined up perfectly, and there's your next profit. So in other words, it gets you in the sell, you make buku dollar there, gets into the buy here, keeps you out of this whole move up, so you didn't lose anything there. And then it gives you a sell here, and you can make some money out of that a little bit. Then you go into a weekly buy, and now these two wins right here takes care of all those stupid little teeny weeny little losses. And that's the way the math usually works. And then where are we at now? That's no right there. There's the buy. Is that the buy? No, one back. And that's where it is. That's today. Okay. Let's move that right to there. I don't know, Daniel. It doesn't look too good to me. Oh, we're run out of time. Oh, let's take. I can show you. I do have Google. I can show you that. Let's save this. And let's close that. And then let's just take a quick look at Google. Google, I think Google's in a daily buy. Let's see, right there. That's part of my group that I do the options on. There we go. There we go. Google's been in a buy since where? Right here. Is that where it's in? That went into a sell there. Sell. 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 Buy. Was the buy there? Yeah, the buy was right there. No, sell. There's the buy right there. So that's where the buy has been. And then that's where the sell's been. And then you can see before that was a buy. And so then this has been, you know, like that buy there was a win. That buy there was a win. That was a sell buy. That buy there was a win. That buy there has been a win. And I think it's what, 3 or 4 days in a buy. Now Google's a lot different. Look at that. Contact Robin. We'll send you all those things for a price. All right, this is Doc from North America. Everybody have a safe and a smart weekend. We will catch you on TGIM. Thank goodness it is Monday. How's that? Happy trails to you until we speak again, which will be Monday, of course. Happy trails to you, to all my cyber friends.